Hi, my name is Melissa van Dijk, and in this video I'm going to show you how you can use CeraVe's new Acne Control Gel, which contains a nice blend of BHA and AHA, so you can look at it as your leave-on exfoliating acid serum. And they are using 2% of salicylic acid, which has anti-inflammatory properties. It can help you to regulate oiliness and to unclog pores, which is extremely beneficial if you are suffering from acne-prone skin or blackhead-prone skin, to reduce it and keeping it under control while using the product. And then they're also using a nice blend of AHAs, and in this case they're working with glycolic acid and lactic acid, which can help you to smoothen the skin texture while at the same time hydrates the skin. And lastly, they are using niacinamide and ceramides. Now, niacinamide can help you to calm and soothe the skin, while the ceramides can help you to restore your skin barrier. So overall, this is a nice blend if you're suffering from acne-prone or blackhead-prone skin. It can technically be used on all skin types. However, salicylic acid is usually a bit more recommended if you have an oilier skin type, since it may lead to dryness. But this also depends on how often you're going to use this gel, since you can adjust it with a moisturizer to some extent, but depending on the frequency, it's best to use it less often if you have a drier skin type, or the overall formulation may be too strong when using it too much. And so I will get into this, and I have prepared for you like an overall guide and some example routines to make it more understandable. So CeraVe does say, well, technically you can use it 3 times per day daily if necessary. However, they also do say that if you're going to use it, it's best to use it in your evening skincare routine, and that's how it usually is recommended when working with exfoliating acids. However, you have to weigh in that how often you're going to use it, and of course you can, for example, use it in the morning, midday, as well as evening if you would consider using it 3 times per day daily. But to make sure that you will figure out what frequency works the best for you, I recommend starting off by using it once per day daily, and I recommend using it in your evening skincare routine only during that time, so that you don't have to worry about sun protection, because we're working with exfoliating acids. And you can see how your skin is going to react to this current frequency. If you can already see that over 2 to 3 weeks sensitivity starts to occur, then the frequency on how often you're going to use it may be too much for your skin, and then you may want to use it every other day, once per day daily, and again I recommend in your evening skincare routine. However, if you say, well, I can use it daily without any issues, I like the frequency, go ahead and keep on going with it. If you feel like you want to use it more often, then the next stage would be using it 2 times per day daily, and then you would use it in the morning as well as evening. And if you feel like, well, I still can use it like a 3rd time per day daily, then this would be the last step, and you would use it in the morning, midday, as well as evening. Now, using it 3 times per day daily, you have to consider a few factors, which I want to now include in my example skincare routines. Now, I want to at first keep my focus on using it in the morning as well as evening, and then getting into the midday part, because you have to consider that the frequency is completely individual. I cannot tell you what will work best for your skin unless you figure it out yourself, because everyone has a different skin tolerance and sensitivity degree. Therefore, you need to try it out and start off with the lowest frequency at first and adjust it accordingly over time. Now, if you now say, well, I want to use it during daytime, what you have to keep in mind is sun protection, because the way on how exfoliating acid works, they can make the skin sensitive to the sun. Not the exfoliating acid themselves, but because they are removing the dead skin cells on the skin surface, the skin underneath is more sensitive, and this can lead to a sunburn very quickly. So during daytime, you're going to get started with washing your face using a suitable cleanser for your skin type and needs. This can be a gentle cleanser, this can be an exfoliating acid cleanser, as I just have a few examples right here from CeraVe. If you have a different brand at home, just exchange it as long as it works well for your skin type and your skin concerns. Go ahead and use that one. Wash your face with your cleanser, rinse it off, pat the skin dry. Then apply CeraVe's Acne Control Gel only on the affected area, which I will get into in just a moment. And then once you have applied it, you're going to leave it on the skin. There's no need to wash it off. And then, when being exposed to the sun, don't forget sun protection, which can either be a moisturizer that already contains SPF or regular sunscreen. As long as it's working well for your skin type and you enjoy the feeling of it, it can give you the full protection, go ahead and use that one. Now, this would be an example of a morning skincare routine. However, when it comes to an evening skincare routine, it's basically the same, just without the sun protection. So you would get started with washing your face using your favorite cleanser. If you want to do a double cleanse, that's fine too. Use an oil or balm cleanser at first, and then your daily regular cleanser as your second cleanse. Wash your face to rinse it off, pat the skin dry. Then move on to the Acne Control Gel, apply it on the affected area, leave it on the skin. And then you can either just stop right there, or if you feel like you need a light moisturizer afterwards, or depending on your skin type, you want to use a moisturizer afterwards because you may have already a dry skin type, that's fine too, go ahead and do so. But make sure that you're using a moisturizer that won't clog pores and feels lightweight on the skin, because you want to improve your current situation, you don't want to make it worse. Therefore, when selecting a moisturizer, use one that won't clog pores. And then in the evening, there's no sunscreen needed. So this would be an example of an evening skincare routine. However, if you now say, well, over time, I'm able to use it 3 times per day daily, and this frequency works really well for me, it's effective, I can see improvements. What you have to consider is that if you have worn a moisturizer and or sunscreen during daytime and you want to reapply it during the midday, it's best to start all over again. So again, you would wash your face at first, then apply the Acne Control Gel again, and then follow with sun protection when being exposed to the sun, because you cannot apply this one on top of your sunscreen or moisturizer, because then you're going to layer one thing on the other, which then may cause more issues than improving your skin. So therefore, when using it 3 times per day daily, if you're going to do this, please keep in mind to reapply it on freshly washed and clean skin, and do not use it on top of your moisturizer and or sunscreen, so that you have an idea of how you can balance it out depending on what frequency works the best for you. And so this would be an example of a midday routine if you consider it. But if you want to keep it really simple, just use it in the morning and or evening, depending on the frequency, to keep things simple and not complicated. Unless you're staying the entire day at home, then you can do this very easily. But this would be an example routine of morning, midday, as well as evening. If you find them helpful and you want to go over them in your own time, I'm going to put the example skincare routines in the description box down below so that you can see them and use them as a guide. But as of now, I really want to keep my focus on the entire application so that you can see it visually and how you can adjust it accordingly. So as you can see, I have several CeraVe cleansers in front of me. I have the gentle cleansers right here for dry skin, oily skin, and again for dry skin. I have the SA cleanser right here, as well as the Acne Control cleanser. Now, which one you're going to choose if you're going to go with CeraVe depends on your skin type and skin concerns again. If you have a different one, go ahead, use that one. It shouldn't dry out your skin, not irritate your skin in any way. And I do want to say that when working with the salicylic acid cleanser, since the Acne Control cleanser would technically go with the Acne Control Gel, you can use them together. But I do want to advise that if you're going to use them together, keep an eye on the frequency, and you may want to alternate it and adjust it with a gentle cleanser as well, depending on your skin tolerance, because this cleanser does also contain 2% salicylic acid as well, whereas the Acne Control Gel too. So I do want to give you a heads up of this when doing this combination. Now, since we are keeping the focus on the same line, I'm going to use CeraVe's Acne Control cleanser, since you technically can use it with a gel. If you're using a different one, please make sure to read on the back of the packaging on how you should use your cleanser, since the directions may change depending on the cleanser that you are using. In this case, it is advised to apply it on a wet skin, so that's what I'm going to do. And you can use this above the sink when washing your face, or use the cleanser in the shower, which can also be a bit more convenient while rinsing it off, to make sure that everything comes off the skin. So either above the sink or the shower. One thing won't change is following the directions of your cleanser on how you should use it. And please read on the back of the packaging if you can use your cleanser around the eyes, or if you should avoid the eye area, then I recommend following this guide as well. So now I'm going to wet my face, neck and hands with lukewarm water to warm water, and then I'm going to apply the cleanser onto wet skin. So let's go ahead and do this. Then go ahead and use about 1 to 2 palms, so about a coin size amount of your cleanser in the palm of your hand. Rub your hands together and then gently massage it all over your face and neck for about 30 seconds to a minute. So, and once you have massaged it all over your face and neck, you can go ahead and rinse it off again with lukewarm water to warm water. You can do this by just using your hands, or if you should feel the need, use a fresh and soft washcloth in between, which you can wet, and this can help you to remove the cleanser, sunscreen and or makeup better from the skin. So now go ahead and take a fresh toner and pat the skin dry. So once you have pat the skin dry, you can immediately move on to the next step, and this is applying CeraVe's Acne Control Gel to the skin. Now, it is recommended to only use it on the affected area, meaning where you may suffer from blackheads and or acne the most. And so in this case, for me, it would be my forehead and or my chin, depending on the situation. This can sometimes change. So in this case, I just would use it and apply it on my forehead or my chin. However, if you have acne prone skin or blackhead prone skin and you have it kind of like all over, it's not wrong to use it all over the face, and as well as maybe your neck. If you do suffer from acne on your neck as well, then you can use it all over and just apply it thinly. But when doing so, please make sure that you're not getting it into your eyes nor into your mouth, and please avoid the eye area, so this part right here, and please do not use it on top of your eyelids as well, because it can be quite irritating on sensitive areas. So this depends on your current situation. If you have acne all over, you can use like about a pea-sized amount and apply it thinly all over and then leave it on the skin. However, for the affected area, you would use less than a pea-sized amount and adjust it accordingly to where you want to cover it the most. And so I'm going to show you now both ways so that you can see it. So at first I want to keep my focus on my forehead alone. So then I just would use a bit on my fingertip, and then just keep my focus on where I need it. So, and once you have applied it only on the affected area, if that's a specific part of your face, maybe your neck as well, then just use it on that part, and then you're going to leave it on the skin, and for the rest you're just going to apply nothing at all and just wait until this one has absorbed into the skin before you either just stop using it right here and you just want to keep the focus on the acne control, or you then want to follow with a moisturizer and or sunscreen afterwards. However, again, as already mentioned, if you now have it like mainly all over your face, maybe your neck as well, then go ahead and use a bit more, but still do not overdo it. The product that you're going to use and blend all over should be able to absorb into the skin. It shouldn't like sit on top of the skin surface. If that's the case, you probably have used too much, and I recommend using less of it. So I just have it again on my fingertip as well. It has already run down a bit, and then just use it between your fingers and apply it all over. Now, if you have active acne and some of them are already kind of healing but still feel a bit sensitive, you can feel a slightly stinging on those areas, as I do have right here. For example, those are already kind of in the healing process, but when I'm using it, I can feel that it starts to sting a bit, but the stinging itself should go away within a few seconds, so it shouldn't last. So, and once you have applied it, again, you're going to leave it on the skin. There's no need to wash it off. Again, as already mentioned, you can use this gel on its own, but sun protection during daytime when being exposed to the sun is still important. However, when staying the entire day at home, you're being not exposed to direct sunlight, you can stop right here. Or if this is going to be your evening routine, depending on your skin type, you can stop right here. You do not have to follow with a moisturizer afterwards. However, if you do now follow with a moisturizer afterwards, either during the day or in your evening skincare routine, or following with sun protection afterwards because you're planning on being exposed to the sun, well, then wait at least 1 to 2 minutes in between so that you can feel that the gel is able to absorb into the skin, so that you're not going to smear it around with your sunscreen and or moisturizer. And so I can already feel that it starts to absorb into the skin, And so now the next step would be if you want to follow on a moisturizer or sunscreen when being exposed to the sun. Now I'm going to get started with the sunscreen. When working with a sunscreen, you can either use a moisturizer that already contains SPF or regular sunscreen. Whichever you're going to pick, that's completely fine. It shouldn't irritate your skin in any way, and it should be able to properly protect your skin. Now I have an example right here from CeraVe. This is just one example. If you have a different one, just exchange it. If you want to know how you can properly apply your moisturizer with SPF or sunscreen, I have a specific video for you that I can link in the top right corner so that you can see the application. As of now, I really want to keep my focus on the moisturizer and the application, which you can add to your skincare routine if you have a drier skin type, or if dryness should occur while using this product, and maybe depending also on the cleanser that you're using. So if you're doing, for example, this combination or with the renewing cleanser and then the acne control, you may want to follow after some time with a moisturizer afterwards, because you can experience a bit of dryness. If it's only a bit of dryness, there isn't something to worry about it. You can balance it out with a moisturizer. However, if the dryness becomes too severe that the moisturizer isn't going to be enough anymore, I recommend reducing the frequency of the acne control cleanser so that your skin has more time to regenerate in between, so that the dryness isn't as severe anymore. And so when it comes to an example of a moisturizer, CeraVe's PM Facial Moisturizer is a great option. It's oil-free and won't clog pores. This is just one example, of course. If you have a different one at home that works well for you, just exchange it. And I use about a pea-size amount, more or less. If you have a drier skin type, you may want to use a bit more so that you can evenly apply the moisturizer all over your face and neck. So, and once you have applied your moisturizer and or sunscreen all over your face, you're going to leave it on the skin. There's no need to wash it off. And this was just an example of an evening skincare routine that I have shared with you so that you can see the steps and what you have to keep in mind when working with CeraVe's Acne Control Gel. Now I do hope that you enjoyed this video, that you find it helpful. If you did so, please don't forget to give the thumbs up as well as share it. And if you now want to know more about skincare and how you can use them in your skincare routine, I have several videos on my YouTube channel, and I'm going to link some of them at the end of this video so that you can keep on watching. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon in the next one. Happy skincaring. Bye!